This is the Tallahassee Business Podcast, bringing you engaging conversations with influential members of the community that you need to know. This episode is brought to you by The Health Network. The Health Network is an innovative advertising platform with more than 30 digital monitors and almost a dozen different medical waiting rooms throughout Tallahassee. With a diverse mix of medical practices, The Health Network provides advertisers unmatched visibility to a highly engaged audience while directly connecting with target consumers through static and video ads. To learn how your business can effectively reach over 60,000 patients and guests per month, visit thnadvertising.com.
Good afternoon. My name is Sue Dick, and I'm president of the Greater Tallahassee Chamber of Commerce. Very excited today to talk about an event next week, which if our listeners have not heard, they've just not been paying attention, but it's Techstars Tallahassee Startup Week. And very excited to have Robert Blacklidge. That's good. And Julia Hawley here to talk a little bit about, not just about next week's important programming, but really their world and the important role they play in our community, wearing many different hats. And I think, Julia, we'll go right to you because you really are what Domi has worked to create and to support, and now you're volunteering for Startup Week. But maybe a little bit about yourself, Julia, if you can introduce yourself to our listeners and how you started your journey.
Yes, thank you, Sue. Thanks for having me today. I own JH Creative. I started my creative studio pretty much around the same time Domi started. Michael Wyden, the original founder, had asked me to help start the brand. And from there, I've just kind of followed Domi's journey as I grew my business as well. So I've been a creative consultant in the marketing and design space.
So you've been going at it for several years. You're that success. You started the business and you're being successful. Your perfect type of client or partner for you would be what?
An ideal client really has a good budget always, but I've been able to work with awesome companies like the Sells Bridal Shop, Nick's Toggery. Domi has been an awesome supporter as well. So I'm really happy to be involved in this year's Startup Week Tallahassee. Actually, thanks to Domi, I heard about the Tal Chamber, BNI, those kinds of resources locally. I'm new in town as of 8 years ago. And so thanks to resources like Domi, I've been able to learn about where to plug in and meet awesome people here in town.
Well, that's great. I mean, Robert, that just makes you smile because that's what Domi's about. So maybe a little bit about you and how we're fortunate to have you here and your role at Domi and why it's so important.
Sure. Well, I think the timing is great with Veterans Day. I am a United States Air Force veteran, and that really gave me the opportunity to go to school and start applying what I was learning in the world and to bring businesses into reality. So to the date, I've had 10 companies, but about 4 years ago, I had children. And in business, and those who are entrepreneurs know it's high risk, high reward, but high risk, and that risk tolerance went away for me. And I started about half a decade ago doing these events that were for entrepreneurs to get those skills so they'd be more successful at their businesses. Well, come to a few years ago, I had the opportunity to join Domi Station, building out their entrepreneur programming, which has always had a really special place for me, helping other entrepreneurs be successful. And at this point, I've mentored thousands of entrepreneurs. But when I moved up in April, funny enough, to run Startup Week last year, I knew that to do it well, I needed to be here in the city, being a part of the community, really engaging on the grassroots level. And that brought me into the ecosystem. Over the last year, I have been building those relationships, finding out what needs there are. And I'm happy and excited to share that all the resources are here. We just need to build those collaborative connections, which is what Startup Week is all about.
All right, well, so let's jump in. It's Startup Week is November 14th to the 18th. For those listeners, who is the perfect person to attend?
If you are listening to this podcast, this event is for you. What's really powerful about the week, and Julia can attest to this, is that all week long you have the opportunity to find something that is relevant to what you're trying to do and achieve. So we have 14 different tracks with industries from fashion to arts to technology. There really is a little bit of something that everyone can attend. But then there's the time variations. It's 6 a.m. through 7 p.m. every single day. So no matter if you have availability early in the morning or midday or at lunch, you can come at a time that's convenient for you. And we did our best to disperse the events across the week.
Where can our listeners find out more about the programming and the schedule?
Yeah, so there have been a lot of partners that have come in to support this, Domi Station being one of them. So they're hosting the site at domistation.org/TLH Startup Week. And on there, you can sign up for your own calendar of events. You can check the events you want to go to. It'll send you a reminder and details about the event. And it has the whole list of activities that'll be occurring during the week.
Is there a charge for individuals to participate?
No, there's no charge whatsoever. Everything is completely free, and there's food, coffee, and different activities that the community can engage in.
Well, I've had a lot of people ask me, where is this taking place? So I know they'll see this when they go to the website, but just in case, there are lots of partners. This is not possible without the hard work of you and your volunteers, and it's really a showcase for our community. There's so much going on right now in the entrepreneurial space. Where will most of these activities be taking place?
So throughout the week at different days, there's going to be main venue partners like JMC will be on Monday. I would definitely go register on SHED, where Robert pointed you to as the landing page. And then we also have the Challenger Center, and we also have the Innovation Center, the TCC Innovation Center in the evenings. So definitely check out the schedule, and we really thank our sponsors and those who volunteered to make this week happen.
I think one of the really exciting things we're going to do our best to get the majority of events either are virtual or going to be streamed online as well. So right from your home, you can attend most of these events as well.
Well, again, this is great and important work. After Startup Week, how can entrepreneurs, so for instance, if someone's not able to participate next week, great that it's streaming and you'll be able to download the information and still access it. But what would you want our listeners to do as far as plugging into this great ecosystem of entrepreneurialism post-Taltech Startup Week?
Yeah, I think what's really exciting is there are a lot of efforts to continue this momentum throughout the year. Startup Week is really that celebration of all that activity, all that energy that's being created, but it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for the weekly and monthly events that are happening throughout the ecosystem. The Chamber is a great resource of finding out when those are. Coca, Domi, there are several major partners in the ecosystem sharing out those activities and events. When you go to these activities, hopefully you can come join us, but pay attention to who's involved, who's actively participating. Those are the organizations that are putting the energy in throughout the year to make this happen. Something like this doesn't come overnight. We started planning this back middle of the year.
This year.
Yeah, it's been months of work and energy and a lot of collaboration and coordinating, mostly thanks to Julia, to bring this into reality. So those players, those individuals, those track captains, they're volunteering their time, energy, and efforts to bring this to our community.
Okay. Well, very exciting. Is there anything else you want to talk about in Domi Station? I know you have a lot going on. Anything you want to plug as it relates to actually Domi?
Sure. So Domi Station does a lot around incubation education. So it's really industry agnostic, and we're working on three key things: building community, educating around entrepreneurship, and then connecting to mentorship and guidance. Right now, we have an active scholarship. So you can go online to domistation/get started and apply for our program. And as long as you do that before the 30th, you can elect to be a part of this coming cohort to either get a full or partial participation for the program.
Wonderful. And how can our listeners reach you directly if they have any questions? Maybe give your email address.
Sure. My email is robert@domistation.org. You can email me day and night, and I will try my best to get back to you in 24 hours.
Well, I know I've seen how hard you work, and you're nonstop. So thank you, Robert, for all your great work. And Julia, thank you. And to all the volunteers for bringing this to our community next week. We're very excited, and we'll look forward to hearing about how this year's event went and push for next year, which will be here right around the corner, I'm sure. Thank you all.
Thank you.